I'm Quick Trip corporate chef Nick Powell. We've come a long way with food since the Texas ham and cheese and the twin chili dog. Believe it or not, it's been 10 years since we opened the first commissaries and bakeries, and now we've got QTK in every market. Now we've put kitchens in every store, and we continue to sell more and more food, from pretzels and breakfast pizza to chicken bacon ranch flatbreads and bacon shakes. We've obviously made a lot of changes in our stores over the past year. We've also been making a lot of changes at QTK. Changes in technology and changes in the product we're making spurred QTK to look at our processes and where we can gain some efficiency through automation. Let's take a look. One of the biggest changes is the installation of a fully automated donut line at QTK Ellenwood. Let's take a look at how we've done it for years so you can see the difference. First, someone divides a big batch of dough by hand into 10-pound chunks and loads it onto a rolling rack. Another person takes it off the rack and onto the sheeter where they move it back and forth between two rollers to turn the dough chunk into the right-sized dough sheet. The next person on the line stacks the donuts. Finally, there are several people to transfer the stacked donuts by hand onto the proofer where the donuts rise before being fried. The new Rademacher donut line at QTK Ellenwood in Georgia is automated to handle all of those steps in less time and without ever having to touch the dough. Instead of someone rolling out 10-pound chunks at a time, this line makes a continuous dough sheet that goes through a series of rollers to get down to the perfect thickness. One line operator is able to control the entire process, from ring donuts to cinnamon rolls, and make adjustments if needed from the control screen. After getting cut, it even automatically plucks the holes out of the middle, something that was always done by hand in the past. The donuts are more consistent in size, shape, and weight than is possible by hand, and it even drops them perfectly onto the proofer belt to rise. We've just freed up a handful of people who can now go work on other important tasks, all while making more donuts more consistently and in less time. For years, we've been lifting up these 50-pound buckets of donut glaze one by one into the donut glaze heater, which was pretty inefficient and expensive in terms of labor, packaging, and product loss. Now, all QTK facilities have switched over to a bulk glaze delivery system using these giant totes. It's basically a giant bag in a box, holding almost 3,000 pounds of glaze that gets piped directly into the glaze heater. That means we're only switching out glaze every few days instead of emptying buckets every 30 minutes. Another new feature of the glazing process is something called an air knife. It uses a ribbon of forced air to blow excess glaze off the donuts as they exit the glazer. It blows off any extra glaze or puddles that would make the donut too heavy. Packaging is another area where we've made some improvements. Packaging is important both for product appearance and for product quality, but it can be tricky, especially when you're making as many sandwiches as we make. Currently, each sandwich has to be taken off the conveyor, put in an individual container and sealed by hand, then placed back on the conveyor in a matter of seconds. They then have to be hand transferred to a second conveyor to get a label applied. It's a fast-paced job and not easy to do at the speed the sandwiches are coming. With the new system called the Repack, many sandwiches can be easily packaged at once. They get loaded into the slots and then go 9 at a time into the machine, where the completely airtight package actually gets formed around them from sheets of plastic. This machine also gives us the possibility to vacuum pack them, which keeps them fresher longer and reduces stales in store. The advantages are that it uses fewer people to package more sandwiches at a time. The black background of the new packaging itself gives a nice contrast to allow the colors of the sandwich to stand out, and new triangular labels allow you to see more of the delicious sandwich. For in-store kitchen items like flatbread bases, the vacuum packing keeps the product tightly contained during transportation. It takes up less space, costs less, and the ability to print directly on the package means stocking fewer label SKUs and not having to change out the labels when moving from product to product. It's completely computerized and controlled from the touchscreen control panel. All the information to be printed on the package is stored in the machine's memory and can be changed at the touch of a button. At Quick Trip, we're constantly striving to make ourselves better and more efficient. Hopefully you'll be seeing some of these changes soon if you haven't already.